Been the past 30 years seeking equality for people with disabilities, and that's not going unrecognised. Sir Robert Martin, the country's first knight with a disability, has been re-elected to the United Nations Committee on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. He was the first person with a learning disability to be elected to the International Committee in 2016. Sir Robert joins us now from Wellington. Good morning, Sir Robert. Thank you so much for joining us, and how are you?
Good, thank you. Good, very good, thanks.
Excellent. Well, congratulations on the re-election, because it speaks volumes about the contribution that you've already made over the past 4 years. You must feel pretty good about going back onto the committee.
Yes, I am, and I couldn't have done it without the the New Zealand government, the New Zealand embassy, but also my people that assist me over in Geneva and New York as well.
So, Robert, I appreciate you putting the praise elsewhere, but I think you're being very humble. I think the work that you've done over the 4 years has seen you be re-elected. So talk to us about the function of the committee. You are one of 18 independent experts, as far as I know. So what is the work that you and others do?
Well, we ask questions on country's government about what they're doing to actually put the CRPD into their country's laws, so people with disability have the same rights as other citizens of their country.
Do you feel like you're making a meaningful difference for those with disabilities?
Well, when I first started, it was quite hard because often the governments wouldn't answer my questions, and I came up with a comeback question. Are people with, because they use the word intellectual disability over in the UN, of course, us in New Zealand and the UK use learning disability as a term to describe us. So, yeah.
Your determination comes from not wanting others who are living with disabilities to have the same painful experiences that you had growing up. Can you share those experiences that have shaped your determination to do what you do?
Well, kind of growing up in institutions way back in the kind of late 50s and 60s, and seeing what was done not only to me but thousands of other children that grew up in institutions and also, state care as well. So people think these places were fantastic places, but you've actually got to live one to actually know what it was all about. Because, I mean, why would you be segregated if you weren't classed as a New Zealander or a citizen of your country?
What are some of the main issues that you would like New Zealand to focus on for people with disabilities?
Well, Article 12, which is about supported decision making, is that everybody can make decisions as long as they are assisted to do so. And I don't think there's a country in the world that's really grappled with this one yet, because it's such a really difficult topic. Also, Article 13, which is the right to justice, and we know that still a lot of people with disabilities are often locked away without coming into the court system, and they're often there for 10, 15, 20, 30, even 40, 50 years, without ever coming out. So also Article 19, which is about living in the community, but with that it's also about choosing with whom and where I live in the community. Also Article 24 around education. To me, education is so important because it has a burn on where we go to in the future. It's linked to having a job and getting pay for the real work we do. And, it's about contributing to society, contributing to the community that we can actually do things to. Also, Article 29 is about not only the right to vote, but right to political participation and being involved in. At the moment, we don't have many people with disabilities in Parliament, and I'd like to see more people with disabilities involved in parliamentary issues. Also, I think sport is really important, as I know that you were a sports person many years ago. But I believe, you got Special Olympics and that has its place and its role. But I also believe that if you're good enough, you should be involved in the community.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Robert, we've got a long way to go, haven't we? And we're very fortunate and grateful that we have someone like you giving a voice to those who don't have a voice. So thank you so much, Sir Robert Martin. Congratulations on being reappointed to that UN committee. We really appreciate your time, and Merry Christmas to you.
Thank you.
And love to the family.
Thanks much.